joined now by Adam Seligman, Vice President of Developer Relations. Now, I love the theme of last night's keynote, get to the fun part. And can you talk a little bit about how you chose that theme and why you feel it resonates with our developers and really all technical practitioners?
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for having me. It's exciting to be here. Keynote was super fun, and the whole idea was to really celebrate what developers and operators actually do every day. You know, hopefully they're spending hours a day productively building apps, running apps, deploying apps, monitoring apps, and not dealing with all the other stuff, you know, that you normally have to do when you build applications, especially in the enterprise. Getting out of waterfall and getting to agile. Not just throwing over an app over the wall for someone else to operate, but taking ownership in a DevOps culture and operating. And really removing all the barriers, everything from not having to manage and shard databases, not have to manually manage your VMs or even pick VM sizes, and really just get to the heart of building applications and then let the cloud take care of it from there. That was the spirit we wanted to capture in the keynote.
So configuring networks, rewriting apps due to cloud provider changes, and waiting around for build, test, and deploy are clearly not the fun parts. Didn't Google once face these sort of issues, and how were we able to remedy that at such scale?
Google has built a lot of great software to run these services that billions of people use every day. So a couple of decades of experience went into how do we help Google developers become incredibly productive. So they can spend an hour, 6 hours on average of writing software every day and absolutely minimize everything else in the chain of getting to deployment and getting that service out to production where a small number of users can test it as a canary deployment and start giving you feedback. So we're trying to build that into our cloud. We've seen the rise of DevOps practices out in the industry, but now we're building into our products with products like Cloud Code, like Managed Kubernetes and CSP, Cloud Run, our new serverless offering, just really reducing the barriers that anyone, like a Google engineer, can build code and get it into production as easily as possible.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, if you had to pick just one best practice from yesterday's keynote that you want developers to walk away with, what would it be?
I'm going to cheat a little, and instead of a thing Google said, I really liked what Twinkle Desai said, who is a VP at Kohl's, who started her career as a developer and a Unix sysadmin, and she built a lot of automation at Kohl's. Now she runs, a couple years later, she runs a 200-person team. They have 100 microservices, 5,000 containers. It's all automated. It's running on managed GKE on-prem. She said they've been through 2 big holiday shopping windows, which in retail is a really big deal. So I'm thrilled that Google Cloud can support retail customers. But by making her people super productive, it's been really great for Kohl's and really great for her career.
Now that's an inspirational customer story. We also saw incredible demos during the keynote yesterday. Can you tell us about some of them and which one was your favorite?
There was a couple that were a lot of fun. I really like what Wix is doing with Google Cloud. They've gone from being like a drag and drop web environment, but now it's totally programmable and extensible with Google Cloud. That's really exciting. The opening demo that Mandy Waite led us through, like her dev team is taking us through, was very, very cool because it was a mix of developers doing VM-based development with Jenkins for deployment of new VM images, a container-based app in the middle, and then extending with new services with functions, serverless functions, which is pretty cool. So to see all those teams kind of working together and using tools like Cloud Code, our new IDE integration for VS Code and IntelliJ, just awesome. People can work the way they want to work. It all works together, all runs on Google Cloud seamlessly. One pane of glass with Stackdriver to observe and manage it. And I think that's great. Let developers do what they want and get to the fun parts.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much again for joining us today and giving us some of that great information.